Hello everyone, welcome to Tea and Banter with me. It's me, Mary Elizabeth. I hope you're all doing well today. Last week, my Felicia and I decided that we were going to run away from home this coming Sunday, which basically is today. Not knowing what the weather was going to be, we just figured let's go out for the day, leave the boys, leave the responsibilities, let's just go out. So we did, but of course, for the first time in a very, very long time here in my end of Massachusetts, we've had like some drizzle, a shower, things like that, but nothing major. Well, today it was massive pouring out. And we originally were going to go into Boston to our great Irish bakery, Green Hills. I highly recommend going to Green Hills Irish Bakery if you ever visit Boston. It's one of the best. But as we were going over the bridge, we got over our phone tornado warning, and so I decided to turn around just because I love pouring rain. I love to read in pouring rain. I love to just relax and drink my tea. But I'm not a fan of driving in that heavy rain, especially when I'm not by myself and I have one of my loved ones in the car. I don't want to do that. So we turned around. And so we were debating on what to do. Sorry, I had a tickle and I needed my tea. So we decided to go out for lunch. We went to Polcari's. Don't know how far that goes. It's kind of a New England, I know, restaurant, nice Italian food. So we went there for lunch, and then we decided to go to Barnes and Nobles. We haven't been there in a while. The one near our house closed, and that was one of our favorite ones. And so I want to give you a little background so you understand what I mean about now, because you might have a different of opinion, which is fine, but just so you know where I'm coming from. So we had a Barnes and Nobles on Route 1 in Saugus, and we've been going there since my daughter was a child. And in fact, we used to go to lock-ins, and it was for every release of the Harry Potter books, and we would have all kinds of fun. We would have snacks, they would have games, people would dress up, and you would stay in there locked in until midnight. You got a wristband, and then at midnight the books would go on sale and they would call you by numbers. It was a lot of fun. So they used to do that, and then we used to once a week go there. Always end up buying a book, that's just a given. But then we would take some of our board games and we would sit in the cafeteria area at a table, a group of us, and we would play board games, and we would order either food or snacks, but always tea, always something. So, excuse me. We knew the people that worked there were very nice, the managers were very nice, and actually they would often recommend some new games coming out. And we were actually introduced to the Munchkin game, which I'm trying to see where those are. They are, where are they? They are over here in this area over here. We actually have a bunch of them, but we got hooked on the Munchkin game, and we bought our games through there, and we played and all of that. But then it started to change slowly. I did notice it, but then they closed down, and that made us very sad. They left, and an auto place went in there. So then they opened up in Marketplace in Linfield, which is about 5-10 minutes from us, but it's very small. They actually don't have a cafe. And it's almost like a little shot maze is the best way to describe it. So you have your two registers, and then like here could be mystery, here could be history, here could be romance. Like it was just like a in and out of kind of thing. So you basically went through the maze and out the door. So it's not like what it used to be, but okay. So we have a couple of more Barnes and Nobles, one in Burlington, Mass, and one in, is it Danvers? Peabody, Mass. So the Burlington, Mass one is near my daughter's work. I wasn't going to drive all the way out there. That is 2 stories, and I'm just giving you this information if you're in the area, but that's 2 stories. They have a cafe, small. They don't have a lot of seating areas. It's kind of not as homey. I guess our Saugus one, it became homey to us, if that makes any kind of sense. We actually also participated in a couple of book clubs at the Saugus one. We took my grandson to the story times there on Friday nights. So it was a big part of our lives, I think. I guess that's what I would say. So today we went to the Peabody Barnes and Nobles, and we went in, and they have a cafeteria. Cafe you can sit, but they have really small little tables, 2 seats. It's not conducive to really, hang out, do activities, whatever. But what was most disappointing to me was the lack of books. Before, the one in Saugus, they didn't have every book naturally, but they had a good amount of each author. So, definitely they might have had only 1 or 2 of the first book, or, 1 or 2 of the second, whatever, but they had a good amount. What I found today was they had, like, at least the authors that I liked, they had 1 book, and it was their latest book. So if you weren't on that book yet, or it was a series I kind of wanted to start, I couldn't get that book. Now, I could go and up to the customer service, and they certainly would order it, but that I could do online myself. I wanted the experience of going, looking at the book like I used to, picking it up. Sometimes they would have the hardcover and the soft cover, or the paperback, and I could look at it and decide which one I wanted. It was just, I don't know, it's more of a sensory kind of thing, I guess you would call it, for me, to go through that experience with the books. I know it sounds crazy, but I love to smell my books as well. So I was kind of disappointed in that, and it just lacked that homey atmosphere. Even the employees lately have not been the same. Not that they're not nice, not that they're not helpful, but my experience has been more of a participatory of the staff. They kind of got involved with you, especially if you were there often. They got to know you. They got to know your likes. When I would go in, they would say, "Oh, do you know about this book?" They kind of get to know you, and it just was an experience, I guess, that is gone. And I don't know. I was kind of a little sad today about that, even though I did get 2 books and a planner, and I'll show you that. But there was several books that I was looking and hoping to get that I could not get. I can order them online, obviously, but again, it wasn't the same experience. Now, don't get me wrong. We had a great time. It was good to be out and not have to worry about responsibilities. As a matter of fact, as I was going out the door, I said to my husband, "Don't forget to do the dishes, and don't forget to do the laundry. I don't want dishes when I get home. I don't want laundry when I get home." And he was really good, and he made sure that that happened. But today I just was like, no, this is, we're doing this. And of course, we kept getting wet because it's downpouring, and I had 2 umbrellas. One, I don't know where it is. Can't find it anywhere, and I don't know why. And the other one is broken, of course. So that was a little fiasco, but since we love the rain so much, it wasn't too hard to bear. So I don't know. Am I the only one who's feeling this way? Does anyone else feel like it's different at Barnes and Nobles? Maybe you don't have that same experience or care about that, which is fine. That's fine. But let me know. Unfortunately for me, independent bookstores are not very close that I know of, but I am going to begin to research how far and where some are, and I'm going to try those. Excuse me. I'm exhausted because I don't get to go out and just do my own thing. Usually I'm just constantly doing for others and taking care of my responsibilities. That I think I exhausted myself today just by going to lunch and bookstore. I had even packed my bag because I thought, oh, we can sit there, I can crochet, I can read a little bit, because we used to do that too. We used to take our books, we'd buy a book, we'd sit there and read. It was amazing, but we didn't get to do that either. So anyway, okay, so like I said, I got 2 books and a planner. So the first book I got, I actually have listened to this on Audible and loved it. And they did have the first book and they did have the second book. I did not buy the second book because the first book is paperback. The second book is in hardcover. So I'm going to wait for that to come out in paperback because I kind of want them to match. I don't always do that, but I prefer if they match. And I loved it on audio, and it's something I will reread, so I wanted to make sure I had it. It is on my SAS list. So it's called Finlay Donovan is Killing It. This is a popular one. I know a lot of booktubers really enjoyed this book. If you don't know, it's about a single mom who is mistaken for a basically a contract killer. And it's quite humorous. It has mystery in it. It has some really funny characters in it. It's fast paced. It's like you turn the page, you keep going. So if you haven't read Finlay Donovan is Killing It, I highly recommend it. I also recommend the Audible. I thought it was very good. I can't remember who narrated it, but yeah, I just thought it was very funny and a lot of fun. So I highly recommend this one. The next book I got, I don't think I've heard of it actually, but it sounded really good. It's called Charlotte Isles, I believe, is Not a Detective. And it's by Katie Siegel. And I'll just read you the back. As a kid, Charlotte's uncanny sleuthing abilities made her a minor celebrity. But in high school, she hung up her detective's hat and stashed away the signature blue landline in her office, aka garage. Convinced that finding her adult purpose would be as easy as tracking down missing pudding cups or locating stolen diamonds. Now, 25, Charlotte has a nagging fear that she hit her peak in middle school. She's living with her mom, scrolling through job listings, and her love life consists mostly of first dates. When it comes to knowing what to do next, Charlotte hasn't got a clue. And then her old blue phone rings. Reluctantly, Charlotte is pulled back into the mystery-solving world she knew, just one more time. But the world is a whole lot more complicated for an adult. As a kid, she was able to crack the case and still get her homework done. Now she's dealing with dead bodies, missing persons, and villains who actually see her as a viable threat. And the detective skills she once so eager to never use again are the only things that can stop a killer ready to make sure her next retirement is permanent. So it just sounded really good to me. I'm looking forward to reading this. If you have read this, please comment down below. Let me know how you liked it. Again, I hadn't heard of this book, and it just caught me, and I will let you know. I will give you feedback on this when I complete it. And then last, my planner book ends the end of the month, and so I needed a new one. I also, excuse me, I'm sorry. I did have a piece of chocolate, so I apologize. I also journal, and you know, do notebooks and all of that kind of thing. But part of my journaling or scrappy kind of agendas, I usually use Happy Planner and journal, you know, my agenda for the month and then journaling for the month. And I just find that I don't think I like it together, because I like to have my planner on the go, so I can take it with me, but I don't want it bulky because I take my yarn, sometimes I'm taking my genealogy, and I'm taking books, and it's just like one more thing. So I thought this round I would kind of try to reduce. And then also I found that I loved the cover of this. It just caught my eye, and I couldn't walk away from it. So I bought this planner. It is just stunning to me. I love it. It's amazing. So, but this is a monthly planner, and it's just very basic. So I don't know if you can see that. And it's 3 colors, like each month is a color, and it's just the 3 colors going from month to month. So it's kind of a light green. And then there is a purplish color, which of course is my favorite, and a bluish color, which is fine with me. I know some people like their planners to be empty so that they can use the colors that they want, and that's fine too. But I don't mind those colors. I think they're beautiful. So, and then in the back there is a calendar for 2025. There's a notes pages, but also if they have quite a few pages of you can actually, they're perforated, so you can actually fold them. You could rip them out, but they are to do notes and lists. So I thought that was really cool. And like I said, you can rip them out, you could fold them over if you want, and there's quite a few pages of that. So, and then in addition, there is a pocket in the back, so you could actually store some stickers or things like that in there. And then it does have a strap to close it. But again, it's very, very thin, very flat. So again, I want to give this a try. And I just love the cover. And, you know, it has glasses, you know. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to using this. We'll see how it goes. Because I also think that I may, although that is a planner too, so I might get a planner with the dot grids and create my own kind of commit 30 kind of. Hold on one second, I'm sorry. I'm back. Where was I? So Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is purchase another planner that's kind of the dot grid, and kind of try to create my own on the idea of Commit 30, if anyone is familiar with that. I like the idea of a 30-day goal. Um, and that is a planner kind of thing, but I don't want a planner because I'm going to use this as a planner. That's the only reason why I'm not buying a Commit 30. So I think what I'm going to do is do the dot grid, do on the idea of the Commit 30, where you can have an overarched goal. You know, maybe it's you want to save $10,000. But you would break each month into 30 days. And what are you going to do for the 30 days to meet your goal? And you might break down your $10,000 goal to something smaller. Maybe it's how do I save $500, or how do I save $1,000, or how do I save $5,000 in the next 30 days? What am I going to do? What are the changes I'm going to make? And then you know, week to week, you figure out your tasks, you figure out what you're doing, and then kind of, to me, it's kind of journaling. What was successful, what wasn't, what am I going to do differently the following week, until you get to the next month, and then revisit where you're at. Again, that's just an example, and I certainly probably will use that planner for more than one thing. Maybe I'm not sure. I love the idea of journaling and notebooking and tracking and all of that, so I'm just not sure how I'm gonna do it. And I think part of the process is trial and error, because the other thing is, where did I put it? So I have two, sorry to turn my back on you. I have two more journals. I have one that is in regards to Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. If I haven't said this before, Dorian Gray, The Picture of Dorian Gray is one of my favorite books. And my daughter bought me this journal, and in the journal, every page is the story of Dorian Gray. It's written very small, but it's basically the whole book throughout the journal. So I struggle with how to use it and what to use it for. So if you have any ideas because I don't know if I used it for something like, you know, tracking my savings, is that really what I should use that journal for? It doesn't seem like I should. So if you have any suggestions or creative ideas that are better, I'd really appreciate it. And then the other one that I have was also a gift, and I'm a lover of Sherlock Holmes. So I have this really neat folded Sherlock Holmes journal that I also struggle on how to use that. So again, if you have any ideas on that, I'd greatly appreciate it. But getting back to, anyway, the other journal. So yeah, I don't know if I will use that as just that Commit 30 kind of style, or if I will incorporate additional things in that. I'm not sure. Or whether I use a notebook or journal for individual things. So whether that's tracking my books in one, whether it's health in another, you know, there's a lot of things, you know, we want to achieve in our lives, and goals we need to meet, or, you know, improvements we need to make, or things we want to learn. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you have any suggestions, I'd greatly appreciate it. I am going to now relax, finish my hot cup of tea. Oh, I know what I meant to tell you. Am I alone I probably am, but I am fussy over my tea, so I carry around, it's a Harney and Sons, and it's called a tag-along, and it's a little metal container, and you push it on the sides, and when you do, it closes. When you press the top, it pops and it opens, but inside you can put your own tea bags. And so we went to Polcari's, and I ordered a cup of hot water and a little milk, and the waitress looked at me kind of funny, and I said, I know you serve Lipton tea. I am fussy about my tea, and I bring my own tea bags. Luckily, my daughter just like put her hand on her face, but of course she wanted the hot water too, and she wanted me to give her one of my tea bags. So, but does anyone else do that, or am I the only crazy person in this world doing that? It wouldn't surprise me, but overall we had a great day. We discussed her, we had a good time in Polcari's talking about her cream in the eye incident, and then she was opening something, and it had a lot of tape on it, and she couldn't get it off her hands at all. I had to help her. Like, she was just, it wouldn't come off. I really, really need, if I could find a way to just keep the video on her 24/7, we would have a lot of fun. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go, and till next time, I hope that you're all safe, and I hope you're all loved. Bye.